Remember the machete-wielding man arrested outside the Capitol last week? Well, it turns out he is an illegal migrant from Venezuela. He was first spotted pacing back and forth on Capitol Hill with a brick in his pocket. But when police approached him, they realized he was armed with a machete and a butcher knife. He's charged with carrying a dangerous weapon and possession of a prohibited weapon. He was first arrested back in 2022 after illegally crossing the border into Texas, but was released by border agents due to lack of detention capacity. Where have we heard that before? He's now in ICE custody and facing removal proceedings. Meantime, President Biden is blaming the border crisis on Congress as Republicans refuse to approve a spending bill that bundles foreign and domestic aid.
Give me the money I need to protect the border.
You have the money, you just need to enforce the laws. The Biden administration planning to reopen 4 border ports of entry tomorrow that were originally closed to try and curb the record flow of migrants. This includes Eagle Pass, Texas, San Ysidro, California, Lukeville, Arizona, and Nogales, Arizona. CBP sources tell us they encountered more than 300,000 migrants in December alone, bringing the total for the fiscal year so far to over 785,000. New York Congressman Marc Molinaro is in Texas right now with the Speaker of the House and dozens of other Republicans. He joins me live before their visit to Eagle Pass later today. Congressman, thanks for being here. On the 4 border ports that are going to be open, I heard a mainstream media radio station, let's say, that I'm sure you listen to when you're back in your district, celebrating that news and also celebrating that somehow lower numbers of migrants are coming across the border thanks to Mexico's efforts. It seemed like a bizarro world of untruths to me. While you're there right now, are you celebrating anything that you're seeing?
I'll tell you this, we're only celebrating the heroic and courageous work of Border Patrol, but the truth is they're not given the resources. The president has ignored the crisis, and as you know, and you all have reported, we've seen record number of encounters this last month, 780+ thousand, 2.4 million in the last year. I mean, it is true utter chaos, and the president continues to ignore what is a national and humanitarian crisis at our southern border. And so 60 colleagues of mine are joining the speaker. We're at Eagle Pass today. We're here to ask the important questions. What must we do to finally secure the border, and how can we help these men and women who are every day providing for national security at the border? The president is ignoring what is a true national security crisis.
I almost drove off the road when I heard this report because it's like an alternative reality that, based upon what you're saying, what our reporters at the border are saying, is just not correct. And it also is having impacts in your district here in the state of New York. What are the people in your district telling you about how the border crisis is impacting them right now?
Yeah, because of the president's failure to act, and keep in mind, he's got the tools. I mean, even through an emergency action, can take the steps to secure the border and to really engage in the appropriate vetting process to ensure for our own safety. But because of those policies, every state, every community is now a border community. And because of the sanctuary city policies put in place by New York City and New York State, really prohibiting law enforcement from working effectively with federal law enforcement to address illegal immigration, you now have the city of New York, Mayor Adams, really talking out of both sides of his mouth. Sanctuary city policy in the city, yet complaining that all of a sudden there are tens upon thousands of individual immigrants coming to the city. And then what he, of course, is doing is busing them to communities across the state of New York as well. In my own district, individuals bused to Liberty, New York, in the Catskill region of New York State, forcing even Democrat executives, mayors and county executives in upstate to declare states of emergency to prohibit this from occurring. This doesn't, beyond the national security crisis that we face, this just isn't the way to treat human souls, and it certainly isn't the way to protect this country at our borders or within our communities.
And it really does underscore your comment there, the fight within the Democratic Party, because you have these Democrat blue city mayors, albeit Eric Adams trying to play both sides of the aisle. I get that. But they really are fighting the administration. Yet, again, going back to this alternative reality narrative that I have, the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, is lashing out, like I said earlier, at Republicans over this. Listen.
The busing of migrants, the putting them on flights, it is shameful that that is occurring. And instead of, if the governor really, truly wants to deal with this issue, he should talk to the senators in his states. We've been in touch with some of those mayors that you talked about, governors in northern part of the country, on dealing with the issue that they're dealing with on the ground. And we have provided resources to them, and we're going to continue to have those conversations. But again, Congress needs to act. The president took this very seriously on day one.
I mean, so much wrong with that whole soundbite, Congressman. Take it where you want.
Well, no, it's absolutely. I mean, it's absurd to think. Mayor Adams begged the president to act. Members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats in New York, said declare a state of emergency. The president chose not to act. And beyond that, keep in mind the Republican majority in the House adopted the strongest border security bill in generations. Our legislation would secure the border, would help us to vet individuals at the border by streamlining the asylum-seeking adjudication. We've given him the tools and resources. They choose not to act, and because of it are putting not only individual lives at risk, but threatening the safety of this country as well. It is just absolutely absurd, and the president can act. Get to the table, negotiate, and bring forward the House bill to secure a border. I
mean, look, economy is going to be number one issue going into 2024's election. We're obviously in 2024 here, but boy, this point, border is definitely a strong 1A at this point, and that is not good for our country. Important for Republicans to drive this point home that if you want change, you may need to change your leaders. Marc Molinaro, thanks for your time this morning. Best of luck today.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.